Good evening, everybody, and welcome. The time is now 7:10. I would like to open the public portion of the January 22nd, 2025 Richfield Park Board of Education meeting. Let's begin with a salute to the flag. Thank you. Mr. Bicek, can you please read the Open Public Meetings Act?
Yes, the New Jersey Open Public Meetings Law was enacted to ensure the right of the public to have advance notice of and to attend meetings of the public bodies at which any business affecting their interest is discussed or acted upon. In accordance with the provisions of this act, the Richfield Park Board of Education has caused notice of this meeting to be published by having the date, time, place thereof posted in the Bergen Record, Star Ledger, municipal buildings, Board of Education offices, and district website. For the public that's going to participate virtually, participation will be conducted both in person and virtually through Zoom. All public will be muted throughout the meeting. Public participation comments are limited to 5 minutes. The public will be able to both speak and be seen by the board when participating virtually, telephonically, via Zoom. Individuals participating virtually that wish to make comments during public participation will need to raise their hand by clicking the blue icon where it says hand icon at the bottom of their Zoom window. Individuals participating by telephone that wish to make comments during public participation will need to hit *9 on the telephone. That'll raise your hand. The business administrator, board secretary will then unmute individuals one at a time to speak in order that their hand was raised.
Thank you, Bicek. May I please have a roll call?
Yes, Mr. Cooney.
Here.
Ms. Kraft.
Here.
Mr. Feitros.
Here.
Ms. McNeil.
Here.
Mr. Malou.
Here.
Ms. Rodriguez.
Here.
Ms. Schmidt.
Here.
Ms. Velez.
Here.
Ms. Orth.
Here.
President Martinez.
Here, we have a quorum. Mr. Malou, can you please move the minutes from November 20th, December 18th of 2024, and January 7th of 2025?
Yes, Mr. President, I move that the board approve resolutions 3.01, 3.02, and 3.03.
Second.
Can I have a roll call? Minutes.
Mr. Cooney.
Yes.
Ms. Kraft.
I'm an abstention on 301 and 302, but approve yes for 303.
Mr. Feitros.
I'm an abstention.
Ms. McNeil.
Yes.
Mr. Malou.
Yes.
Ms. Rodriguez.
I'm an abstention from executive session minutes, 301, and yes for 302, 303.
Ms. Schmidt.
Yes.
Ms. Velez.
Yes.
Ms. Orth.
Yes.
President Martinez.
Yes. We had one communication from the public. I would like to thank Ms. Weiss for her letter expressing concerns about our middle schoolers. These concerns have existed for many years, perhaps decades at this point, and all of us who have put kids or have gone through the middle school know that we share these concerns. I encourage parents from any school to follow the chain of command with respect to issues specific to their children, but to not hesitate to contact the board about general issues or observations about our schools. I feel very optimistic right now that we are now in a position to come up with a thoughtful short-term and long-term solutions for our middle school. So please stay tuned. We will now move on to subcommittee reports. Buildings and Grounds, Trustee Cooney.
Good evening, everyone. The Buildings and Grounds Committee met on January 13th
Those in attendance, Dr. Vespignani, Ms. Triglia, Mr. Bicek, myself, President Martinez, Trustee Malul, and Trustee Schmidt. The superintendent reviewed the status of the completion of the revised district goals regarding facility updates. We discussed internal review of space and classrooms, and the committee reviewed current space allocations for school year 24-25. For Roosevelt Elementary, we discussed the unit ventilator in rooms 304 and 308. And the company TBS Controls is remotely checking for issues. And the contact from TBS said it would be because we need the freeze stats, which are like capillary tubes, that prevent the coils from freezing. Additionally, we discussed the high school gym wing and the heating issues. We're still waiting for some parts, and POs have been entered for motors. Mr. Bicek put a call in line to get an ETA. Excuse me. TBS could not find issues and said to call our mechanical company. After that discussion, we're waiting for a quote for a motor for the unit in the ceiling outside room 103. It appears that room 105, a valve was turned off on the radiator heater when the renovations were done. This caused a major problem, and now that it was changed, the heat is now running perfectly. Also, Sal Electric was contacted by administration to look at the electric to a circulating pump that's not working, and this will help in those areas as well. Lincoln School, Jersey Controls was called to have their tech department remote into the system. The heating set points were rest and the heat was working properly. 304 in the media center, TBS Controls also remotely checking for issues. They stated they will review the controls to see what the issues are. We're waiting for a new ventilator and a motor. And the district contacted Inline on January 13th to tell them they got to get out here ASAP. One last note, the field house out here is currently being cleaned and sanitized by the company ServPro. And this project started yesterday on January 21st. Next meeting is scheduled for February 10th. That concludes the B&G report. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Clooney. Trustee Orth? Policy?
Yes, the policy committee, I'm sorry, just give me 1 minute. The policy committee met on January 14th at 7 p.m. Present were Dr. V, Ms. Triglia, myself, Dr. Martinez, Ms. Rodriguez, and Ms. Schmidt. Dr. V provided an update on district goals, on progress on district goals. We discussed policy alert 234 with all of the policies recommended from Group A on this agenda. Most of them from Group B are being held for further discussion. The committee had a long discussion about acceptable use of AI, of generative AI, which needs still further discussion and recommendations from administration. Our next meeting will be held on February 11th.
Thank you, Trustee Orth. Finance and Insurance, Trustee McNeil?
Thank you. The Finance Committee met on January 13th at 6 p.m. Dr. Vespignani, Ms. Triglia, Mr. Bicek, Dr. Martinez, Trustee Malul, Trustee Velez, and myself were present. We did discuss the district goals and Texpo attendance, which is on tonight's agenda in support of Goal 3. The budget prep for school year 25-26 is in progress. There was a mid-year review with the executive county superintendent that went well and was attended by Mr. Egan, our state monitor. All of the building requests and meetings have been completed for the 25-26 budget. Special ed and tech were work in progress at the time of our meeting. Pending state software opening, there'll be a preview for the Board of Education in February before we start the official approvals for that budget. We are still awaiting federal title funding to be finalized for this school year 24-25. However, all programs were reviewed and approved, so it really is an administrative issue. The next meeting is February 10th, 25.
Thank you, Trustee McNeil. Faculty and Programs, Trustee Kraft?
Good evening, everyone. The Faculty and Programs Committee met on January 14th. Present were Dr. Vespignani, Ms. Triglia, myself, Dr. Martinez, Trustee Rodriguez, Trustee Velez. Dr. V started our meeting by giving us an update on the district goals, which I'm sure he'll allude to during his report. We discussed the launching of the new Richfield Park Public Schools social media platforms. We're thrilled to see that there are new handles being created across Instagram and Facebook and LinkedIn, and learned about newsletter platforms more that are becoming from each of the schools, departments, and our preschools. So the first one will hopefully be launched in February with the hopes of putting out a couple per month for families to get information about things happening on the district. We also discussed the mission statement revision process that's ongoing. The first committee meeting has taken place, and hopefully the mission statement is looking to include input from students, parents, and staff representations, with surveys going out to students in grades 7 through 12 with parent permission. We discussed the upcoming CUSAC visit in May that will be looking specifically at instruction and program. We discussed one notable item on the personnel agenda, which was the hiring of our head football coach. We discussed preschool registration that's going to be starting on January 31st. It's going to be, registration will be accepted on a rolling basis and will close in May. We're anticipating parenting with another provider, and there will be an information session on January 23rd for parents. That's tomorrow. We discussed hiring of school-based affirmative action officers, as our board policy denotes that we're required to have an affirmative action team in the district. We talked about Little Scholars, the enrichment program, got an update on enrollment numbers across the district, and talking about future plans with regards to that program. Our next meeting is on February 11th, 2025.
Thank you, Trustee Kraft. And I have a feeling that most of you are not here to see the board, so we will get out of the way and let the superintendent do his report.
Thank you, President Martinez, and good evening to our community, both tuning in virtually and with us here this evening. First, I respectfully submit the HIB report that was presented to the board in executive session. I also wanted to draw attention to one item on the agenda. January is School Board Recognition Month in New Jersey. And I just wanted to kind of pause and congratulate the current board for all of their hard work and dedication to bettering the lives of the children in Richfield Park. We know that the position of a board member in New Jersey is not compensated, and board members give up countless hours and a lot of energy dedicated to their respective school communities. And that's certainly what we're experiencing here in RP. The current administration and the current board has an outstanding working relationship, which has really enabled us to move the district forward. So I just wanted to recognize all of our board members and give them a nice round of applause if you'd kindly join me in that. As we heard from the committee reports, I provided each committee with an update on our district goals. You may recall that there are 3, and I thought that it would be important to also provide our community with a very brief update. In terms of our goal 1, which was a revised INRS process, we are well on our way in terms of the major activities that were part of that goal. Currently, we're just monitoring, receiving feedback from each committee, continuing to refine and improve the intervention and referral process based upon input from each team. In terms of the second goal, which was to essentially do a bit of a rebranding initiative, we've made a lot of progress, as we heard from Trustee Kraft from the Faculty and Program Committee report. We've launched our new social media platform, so we hope that community members, staff will begin to follow these new handles. The mission statement revision process is well on its way, and we're anticipating a release of the survey in February. And in terms of the digital district newsletter, on the last agenda, the board approved the purchase of the SMORE platform. Schools and specific departments now have access to that, and we're hopeful to launch our first digital district newsletter in February. So stay tuned for that. I think it'll be really great, so we can really highlight some of the wonderful work from our staff and our students. And lastly, goal 3, it was in terms of the technology infrastructure and all items related to the implementation of technology initiatives. Essentially, the goal here is to produce a technology plan for 3 years in terms of instruction, infrastructure, hardware, devices. So we've made a lot of progress in that space as well. I wanted to just briefly highlight some school news in our pre-K 6 buildings. As we heard, preschool registration is will officially open on January 31st. Tomorrow, we're having a virtual information session, which will be held in English at noon and then in Spanish at 12:30. Links to participate are on our district website. The Little Scholars After School Enrichment Winter Session has started. We continue to encourage families to explore this option. Elementary schools recently had their parent-teacher conferences on January 14th and 16th. So thank you to our families for your active involvement in your child's education. We hope that the conferences were productive and meaningful for you, as I'm sure they were. Congratulations to the many students at the elementary level who are showing growth on their winter benchmark assessments. We can see the hard works from teachers and students really paying off. And our elementary schools will participate in the Great Kindness Challenge the last week of January, where there will be theme days and many different learning activities related to kindness. At the junior senior high school, the class of 2025 project graduation parent committee is holding their major fundraiser on Wednesday, February 26th. There will be a turkey tray and a fashion show at the Fiesta in Woodridge with our students modeling prom wear and a chance to win some amazing prizes. So tickets are still available. I wanted to welcome our student reps. We have Riley and Kristen joining us for their report. So we'll turn it over to you. Welcome.
Good evening. My name is Kristen Coffey, and I'm the senior class secretary.
And I am Riley Flynn, the senior class treasurer. This month, 2 notable trips occurred. The forensics class was able to see a working crime lab and learn about evidence collecting and processing when they visited the Bergen County Crime Lab in Hackensack on Friday, January 10th. The students also had a chance to learn about how canine dogs are trained and used in the sheriff's department. They got a chance to meet one of the canines named Gucci up close and personal. The day ended with a tour of the Bergen County Jail as the officers brought the students around the jail to show how the jail is set up and how the officers control the units. It was a very criminal justice informative day. The same day, the student government attended the United Nations in New York City. The hour-long tour included an insightful overview of the organization's work in maintaining international peace and security, promoting human rights, and fostering sustainable development. We learned about the UN's various agencies, its role in addressing global challenges, and the importance in diplomacy in resolving international conflicts. The counseling department recently hosted an elective fair in the gym this past Friday. Students were set up at tables advertising and demonstrating the 43 incredible elective courses offered at the high school. For example, the aviation class had some drones out while the photography class was out there taking pictures. This was a great opportunity for students to preview the vast range of electives available to students in the high school. Additionally, the counseling department organizes Future Fridays. Future Friday is offered as a career exploration opportunity for students. On select Fridays throughout the school year, professionals from a wide range of areas will come to present on their career path and current career. Students are invited to register for the sessions that interest them. Career presentations take place in the classroom setting to a group of 20 to 25 students. Most recently, the general manager of Sesame Street Learn and Play from the American Dream Mall came to speak with students. Some student achievements we'd like to highlight are for Juliana Gonzalez and Lucas Harrison. These students had remarkable achievements at this month's DECA district competition. Their hard work and dedication paid off, earning them a place at the prestigious state-level competition in Atlantic City. Another exciting day here at RPHS occurred last month when therapy dogs were brought in for students and staff. It was a great way to take a break and come together as a community. The dogs help students relieve stress and also kick off winter break.
Finally, the student government participated in All School Special Needs 5K on December 8th. We won a trophy for the team with the most representation. This 5K is meaningful because of the contribution the organization gives back to our community every year. It also promotes physical health, mental well-being, social interactions, and it raises awareness. Overall, it was a successful event, and we plan on winning the award every year. Now, turning to sports. The competition cheering started their season right after the holiday break. They competed Monday, January 6th, going head-to-head against Wayne Valley and Northern Highlands on January 13th. They hosted the Big North meet and competed against division rivals Dumont and Cliffside Park. The team had their highest scores of the season and beat Dumont by just 2 points. The Lady Scarlets varsity basketball team is off to a 7-4 start, playing a very tough schedule. The JV Lady Scarlets are off to an impressive 7-1 start, while freshman team is 1-2. We're excited to have the participation numbers the highest they've been in years. The Lady Scarlets basketball program hosted their first ever youth day with over 50 girls in attendance to support the girls during the game. This year's girls wrestling team had the highest number of girls participating in program history and currently holds an 8-1 record. The girls also won the first annual Fairlawn Girls Cutter Tournament that had over 20 teams around the state competing. The team had 8 medalists, 3 finalists, and 1 champion. On Wednesday, January 29th, the Scarlets will be hosting Cliffside Park for the first all-girl duel held at RPHS. Additionally, the girls are currently ranked 15th in the state. The boys wrestling team is currently 5-2 and placed third at the Saddlebrook tournament that had 16 teams in attendance. The boys had 7 place winners, including 4 finalists and 2 champions. Senior Derek Rodriguez became a 3-time county place winner when he took 4th at the BCCA tournament this past weekend. That's all we have to report today. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you, Riley and Kristen, for that report. Always great to hear your lens. And lastly, to conclude my superintendent's report, as President Martinez had noted, we have a great crowd with us this evening, undoubtedly for our Governor Educator of the Year recognition. And just to provide a little context, this is an annual program where school districts throughout New Jersey have an opportunity to recognize one teacher and one educational service professional within each of their respective buildings. So across all of our schools, we're pleased to recognize the recipients this evening. This year, we opted to participate in this program for 2 reasons. One, we can recognize more staff members and the hard work that they invest in bettering the lives of our students. In comparison to the previous program where there were only 4, 1 from each building, we are now able to recognize 2 from each building, again, 1 being a teacher and 1 being an ed services professional. Examples of educational service professionals may include a nurse, a school counselor, a teacher assistant, child study team members. There are various positions that would fall under that role. The other reason why we wanted to participate in this program is that it enables our Teacher of the Year recipients to then go on to apply for the County Teacher of the Year, in which case they're strongly encouraged to do so because it can absolutely happen. I had the privilege when I was an elementary school principal in Hudson County. We actually had our 4th grade teacher be selected as the Hudson County Teacher of the Year, so it can absolutely happen, and would really love for that to happen for one of our fine educators here in RP. Just to set the table, we'll have each of our principals come up one at a time to welcome their recipients up to the lectern to say a few kind words. And then at the conclusion, I would recommend to President Martinez perhaps to take a brief intermission for some photo opportunities. And again, thank you to, I see a lot of families and friends and staff members, colleagues joining us this evening, so we really appreciate it. And on to the recognition. I'd like to first welcome our Grant Elementary School principal, Ms. Hernandez.
Good evening, everyone. I'd like to ask Leslie Yoon to join me here at the podium. Leslie Yoon has dedicated 23 years to the students and families of Grant School and has made a lasting impact on countless students and colleagues alike. For the past 8 years, she's brought her passion, expertise, and unwavering commitment to the 3rd grade classroom, where she creates an environment of curiosity, growth, and kindness. Mrs. Yoon's ability to connect with her students is unmatched. She fosters a love of learning, encourages creativity, and instills a sense of confidence in every child she teaches. Her innovative teaching methods, coupled with her compassionate approach, inspire not only academic success, but also a sense of community within her classroom. As a mentor and leader among her peers, Mrs. Yoon's positive influence extends beyond the classroom. She is always willing to lend a helping hand, share her knowledge, and collaborate with others to ensure the success of the entire school community. Her professionalism, enthusiasm, and deep care for her students make her a truly deserving recipient of this prestigious honor. Please join me in congratulating Mrs. Yoon.
Thank you. And I failed to mention that in the event that any of our recipients wanted to say a few words, no obligation at all, but we would welcome that if you choose to do so.
Would you like to?
Thank you for this opportunity. Good evening. I'm deeply humbled by this incredible recognition as a teacher tonight. The last time I received this privilege acknowledgement was about 17 years ago while I was carrying my first son, who's sitting here today as a junior in high school. It feels surreal, and I can hardly find the words to express how honored and grateful I am to stand here once again. Almost 24 years ago, the board members and administrators took a chance on me. Since then, Ridgefield Park has become a place where I have grown both personally and professionally in ways I could never have imagined. For that, I will be forever grateful. As I receive this recognition, I would like to acknowledge those without whom I could not be who I am today. Please allow me to thank them. First, I want to express my gratitude to the board members, Dr. Vespignani and Ms. Triglia, for participating in the Governor Educators of the Year program, which highlights the invaluable and hard work of teachers in Ridgefield Park. Thank you for everything you do to level the ground for our students so that we, the teachers, can be the boots on that ground, working with our children every day. And to my principal, Ms. Hernandez, thank you for leading by example with your hard work and pursuit of excellence for our school. Secondly, to the countless students I have had the privilege to teach, they are the reason I do what I do. They have taught me as much, if not more than I have taught them. Their individuality, potential, and value have driven me to continually strive for more and better. Their needs compel me to go back to school for further training at various points in my teaching career so that I can provide them with what they needed. They deserve the very best, regardless of who they are and where they come from. The parents and the grandparents of my students, despite coming from diverse backgrounds, and in some cases, facing personal challenges and fiery trials, their unwavering love, hope, and sacrifice for their children have motivated me. I am honored to partner with them in shaping their precious children. But this recognition is not just my story. It is a shared story lived out daily by my colleagues at Grant School. On that note, I humbly accept this honor on behalf of them. Our custodians, who are among the kindest and hardest working individuals that I know, their dedication, particularly during the summer months when the school building undergoes tremendous transformation, their work is greatly appreciated. To the assistant teachers who make a significant difference in the classrooms, and they are dearly loved by our students. Finally, my family. First, my children who settle for takeout dinners on countless evenings when I stayed late at school, especially whenever I was reassigned to teach a new grade, and who grew up spending time in my classroom when I had to set up and pack up since their diaper days. They have seen me through every stage of my teaching career. Their presence and their inherent value remind me of the value of my students and strengthens my commitment to treat them with respect and love. My parents, who have taught me the importance of keeping integrity and hard work ethics. Their pride in me becoming a teacher brings me such joy. My husband, my biggest cheerleader through all the highs and lows of my career, who consistently has exaggerated and inflated my value as a teacher. Without his support of holding the fort down at home, I could not have pursued further training, such as the intensive 2-year Orton-Gilling certification program, which has been pivotal in enhancing my ability to serve my students. To everyone here tonight, whether you're a parent, teacher, board member, administrator, or just a caring resident, thank you for your dedication to the education of children in Ridgefield Park. You are invaluable stakeholders in this community, and I feel deeply honored to be surrounded by all of you. Thank you for giving me your precious time this evening. Thank you.
Next up, may I please have Mrs. Rosa Cartagena to stand next to me. Ready? Over the past 4 years, Mrs. Cartagena has made a positive impact working with preschool students with special needs. Her dedication, expertise, and compassionate approach has helped the students in her class thrive. Mrs. Cartagena's work with young learners is great. She brings patience, creativity, and a commitment to meeting each child's unique needs. Whether it's through individualized learning supports or helping the teacher to build a nurturing classroom environment, Mrs. Cartagena ensures that every student has the support and encouragement they need to be successful. Beyond her work in the classroom, Mrs. Cartagena is a passionate and active member of the Richfield Park community. Whether through volunteering, participating in local events, or supporting initiatives that enhance the well-being of families, Mrs. Cartagena's contributions extend far beyond her professional role. Her dedication to her students and the community embodies the true spirit of service. Please join me in congratulating Mrs. Rosa Cartagena.
Hello, everyone. I can't top what Ms. June said, but I'll make it short. I want to thank the board. I want to say thank you to Ms. Hernandez. Also, I want to give out a special thank you to Ms. Dr. Steele. Working beside her has been a pleasure. She's a great mentor, and I love working with pre-K school. They're wonderful. Like, you have to have a lot of patience and love to be in that position. So thank you for the recognition. I'm very humble, I'm honored, and thank you.
Thank you. I'd like to welcome Dr. Ferraro, principal of Lincoln Elementary School.
Good evening, everyone. If Ms. Lane can come up. Catherine Lane is truly an amazing, humble teacher with us for 8 years. A former interim principal remarked to me about how special she is and how she will take kindergarten to the next level. With her being in kindergarten, I can confidently say she is remarkable. In all ways, she seeks to be the best version of herself. From differentiating to classroom management to creating theme days to volunteering at school events, she shows she cares and wants to help the RP community and kindergarten experience. She comes to administration with great ideas, volunteers as a union representative, works in the after-school program and intramurals, and dedicates time to our all-school special needs organization. She was there cheering me on as I practically walked rather than ran the 5K. Miss Lane builds structure in her class, integrates technology, uses small group learning, takes on new initiative, collaborates with staff, and seeks to solve problems rather than looking the other way. I'm also a big fan of her Bitmojis. Miss Lane is patient, calm, sensitive, and uses all the right tools and techniques for great teaching. You need a special type of person for kindergarten, and she is that person with incredible energy and enthusiasm to spark the joy of learning. If you didn't know, Miss Lane is a homegrown teacher who graduated from here, Richfield Park Junior Senior High School. She exemplifies the quality education we have here at Richfield Park. Congratulations, Miss Lane, on earning this achievement.
Good evening, everyone. Words can hardly express how honored I am to stand here as Teacher of the Year in the very place that shaped me, my hometown. This community has been my foundation, my inspiration, and my home. And being able to give back to it through teaching is one of my greatest joys. Teaching is a career that sometimes can feel invisible. It's not always about the big moments, but the small everyday connections, the quiet moments when a student finally understands something they've struggled with, or the times when they teach me something new. Those moments are what make this work worthwhile. So to all of my amazing students, I say thank you. Teaching is not also something we do alone. I am so fortunate to work alongside such incredible colleagues and friends. Thank you for your teamwork, your encouragement, and your inspiration. You challenge me to be better, lift me up when I need it, and work so passionately alongside me. It is because of you that we're able to create a positive and meaningful impact in our classrooms. And Dr. Ferraro, thank you for your leadership and unwavering support. Your vision and encouragement empower all of us to give our best to our students. You've created an environment where both teachers and students can thrive, and for that, I am truly thankful. To my family and friends, thank you for your love and encouragement and celebrating all of my successes. You've been my foundation through every step of this journey. Being recognized as Teacher of the Year is a reminder that the impact we have as educators ripples out in ways that we may never fully understand. I may be receiving this award today, but I truly believe it's a reflection of the incredible community we have here, students, teachers, families, and staff all working together toward a shared goal. Thank you again for this incredible honor. It's a privilege to do what I do, and I'm truly grateful for this opportunity. Go Lincoln Lions.
Melissa Lane can come up. Melissa Lang is a veteran teacher assistant who is consistently praised by teachers for her effort and ability to teach special education students. She works cooperatively with her resource room teacher, and many students would think she is the teacher as well in that room. She is smart, adaptable, and encouraging. She collaborates with staff and will sometimes work with students having behavior challenges. She remains patient and gives 100% effort at work, all the way from greeting students in the morning to safe dismissal. For some reason this week, I just noticed I come to work early and I didn't realize you come to work really early as well. So that's remarkable. She can be seen at after-school events and will offer help at work at her own initiative. You can find her participating in our school's theme weeks to help support a good school culture. She is a dedicated educator who is experienced, hardworking, and reliable. She helps students learn in their own unique way and is a team player. She cares about her resource room students, our school, and the education field. She is highly deserving of this recognition, especially working in the district for over 2 decades. She is that person who teachers want by their side. Congratulations, Ms. Lang, on being the lion-hearted staff member earning this achievement.
Good evening, everybody. I didn't know I was supposed to speak. And that's unusual for me because I always speak. But I just wanted to thank everybody for this award. I'm very humbled by it. And I really, truly appreciate it. I've been working here for 23 years. I started as a substitute teacher, as a parent, walking into the school, seeing the principal being very upset because there was teachers absent and they had nobody to watch the class. And I said, I'll go watch them. And she's like, oh, wait, here. And here was my substitute papers. And that's how it all started. And I worked my way in as a personal aide into a classroom aide. And I've been in the resource room for about 16 years now. Mrs. Morrison and I work very well together. The kids actually laugh because sometimes we say the same thing at the same time. It's like one mouth speaks and they just get a kick. But thank you, everybody, for everything. Dr. Ferraro, everybody. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. And I'd like to welcome the principal of Roosevelt Elementary School, Mr. Cata.
Good evening, everyone. I'm very excited to announce these 2 recipients, first of all, because they are both graduates of Roosevelt School, both living in Ridgefield Park as children and going through Roosevelt, which I think is very special. First, if we can start with Miss Jessica Del Vescovo, please come on up. She's good. She's very good. Ms. Del Vescovo has been working at Roosevelt for 7 years now. Ms. Del Vescovo has been and continues to be a very dedicated teacher. Her commitment to her students is a true strength as she finds any way possible to reach her individual learners in the classroom. As acknowledged in her nomination letter, she sends materials and packets home for her students and the parents to best help support the learning process at home. She literally sends materials to parents to best guide them with the practices conducted in the classroom, which shows the homeschool connection and the best opportunity for her students' success. Ms. Del Vescovo's classroom is a buzzing beehive where each member of the classroom has their own responsibilities to make sure the small community within can be as successful as possible. The jobs are rotated, the students are resilient, the materials are always where they're supposed to be, and each member of the hive sees Ms. Del Vescovo as the queen bee. Not because she is the adult in charge, but rather because they know how much she wants to see the entire hive succeed. Respect is key to the success of everyone in the class. You can literally see the rapport and commitment to to support the learning and growing process every time you enter her classroom. The families of Ms. Del Vescovo's class rave about her commitment and follow through. She is a model staff member and helps support her colleagues as well. She is always well planned for each instructional day. She collaborates with her grade level partners as well as other teachers to best meet the needs of every student in the room. Her valued collaboration and teamwork approach also helps support our other students at Roosevelt School. Ms. Del Vescovo is committed to all school and district initiatives and is a master at finding ways to use those initiatives as teachable and learnable moments. She comes to me with success stories, concerns, and struggles, while also providing ideas and potential solutions to make matters easier and more productive. As the building principal, I can wholeheartedly say that Ms. Del Vescovo deserves this recognition completely. She is a model teacher and an inspiration to all educators who always puts her students first. Congratulations.
Good evening, members of the board, esteemed colleagues, parents, and community members. It is truly an honor to stand here tonight as this year's recipient of Roosevelt School's Educator of the Year Award. To be recognized in this way is both humbling and deeply meaningful. I am incredibly grateful to all the parents who nominated me, as well as to all of you who make our school and community such a special place. I began my journey here at Roosevelt Elementary School as a kindergartner in the year 2000. Little did I know that this school and the community would have such an impact on my life and my career. First and foremost, I would like to thank the educators that I have had the pleasure of working with and learning under at Roosevelt School. They have demonstrated the importance of unwavering dedication, creativity, and passion. I am so lucky to have had the opportunity to work with such an inspiring group of individuals, and I can truly say the Roosevelt family is unlike any other. To my students, past, present, and future, watching your curiosity ignite, seeing you overcome challenges, and celebrating your successes together brings me so much joy. You inspire me every day to be a better teacher and a person, and for that, I thank all of you. You will always have a special place in my heart and in my classroom. To my principal, administration, Dr. V. Striglia, Miss Inelian, who was actually my mentor my first 2 years at Roosevelt School, you are all the people who make our school a place where students and staff feel safe, supported, and ready to learn. Please know that your hard work and dedication does not go unnoticed. To my family, thank you for being my first teachers, my biggest cheerleaders, and my support system. Your encouragement and belief in me have been constant throughout my life, and I wouldn't be here without you. And to my husband, thank you for always being my rock, your endless patience, and keeping me grounded when I come home after a bad day, a long day, even when things get tough. To my parents, your constant support and inspiration have shaped me into the person I am today, and I am so fortunate to have you all by my side. This achievement is just as much yours as it is mine. Thank you again for this incredible honor, and I am so inspired and continue working to continue to do what I love. I'm just excited for all that lies ahead as we keep striving for success for every child in our care. Thank you.
I'll hug. Just want you to know. If he tries to hug me, I'm running.
Mr. Kenny. This is Mr. Kenny's 10th year working for Ridgefield Park Public Schools and his 5th year at Roosevelt. Mr. Kenny has been and continues to be a student advocate for every learner at Roosevelt School. Since coming to Roosevelt 5 years ago, he made it a mission to get to know every student. As a counselor, Mr. Kenny knows about student academic levels and peer interactions. He also knows important components about individual students that help make them who they are. This includes potential issues and/or successes at home. Parents constantly communicate with Mr. Kenny, and he continues to provide in-depth responses that are transparent and include their child's best interest at heart. Mr. Kenny also holds an abundance of clubs to help our students with coping, making adjustments, making friends, and appreciating who they are as individuals. Some of these clubs include Banana Splits for children navigating a family separation, Kindness and Caring Club, Lego Club, Superhero Club, one of my favorite to see, and more. He also took it upon himself to co-advise a school newspaper club, which produces at least one edition per month. Mr. Kenny's commitment to our students and these opportunities provided are just the tip of the iceberg that make him the fantastic counselor that he is. As an elementary principal, we look to our guidance counselors for many different supports. Mr. Kenny is always prepared and ready to tackle items on our calendars, and he keeps me in check with reminders of due dates that are coming up. He supports myself, the students, and the staff by generating spreadsheets with benchmark and assessment data, navigating many supports for students, including I&RS, 504s, after-school academic support, tutoring, fundraising, researching assemblies that meet the students' interests and needs, as well as working with me as good cop and bad cop. I'm always the bad cop. Regardless, Mr. Kenny is consistently doing his best to follow policies and expectations while always putting the students of Roosevelt first. To be honest, I'd be lost without you. These are just some of the reasons why Mr. Kenny is so deserving of recognition as the Roosevelt School Educational Service Professional of the Year. Congratulations.
So funny story. I love writing speeches, and I actually wrote 2 speeches, but I decided a couple days ago I'm just going to wing it. So let's see how this goes. So first, I want to start out by thanking my parents. Was raised in Richfield Park. I'm not here without their love. So thank you so much, Mom and Dad, for everything you've given me. I wouldn't be here without you. Next, I don't know if everybody can say this, but I absolutely love the place I go into work every day. I have a phenomenal boss. Like truly, I've worked in Richfield Park and worked at many schools. I've never worked with a principal as good as Mr. Cato. So thank you for all you do for me. I get more out of our relationship than you believe you get out of the relationship. So thank you so much. We have a phenomenal staff. I know Jess Del Vescovo is an amazing teacher, but the truth of it is we are 2 of many. Our entire staff at Roosevelt School works tirelessly to make sure that everybody is learning. And I'm so appreciative that I get to push myself because I see how hard they work every day. So it's just a great experience to be there. But it's not just the teachers either. The parents from the day one I got there have been amazing. We have a second to none PTA, and I apologize to any other PTA members out there, but I truly believe that we have the irreplaceable Miss Long, who I think we're going to have to replace this year, but we're going to really miss her. She's been amazing. So everything, but also the students. I love our students. They put in their best every day. They challenge me. I challenge them, and I can only hope they get as much out of the day because of everything that we put in. So it's been an amazing experience coming back to Roosevelt School. And I guess I'd like to end off by thanking probably the most important person in my life, the real reason why I'm here. Mr. Cadden knows this, and most of the staff knows this. You can probably guess by the glasses I have on and my long hair. I'm a little bit hyperactive. I'm a little bit I lack self-control every so often. I do my best to not get too crazy, but the only real reason I'm here right now is because my beautiful and loving wife, she's my everything. So thank you, Grace. So I'm honored to be up here. I'm appreciative, but I see this as just a cherry on top of the ice cream. And truth be told, I like the ice cream a lot better. So thank you for everything I've gotten out of this. So thank you.
Thank you. And I'd like to welcome Ms. Cavens, principal of the Richard Park Junior Senior High School.
Will the lovely Mrs. Hot please join me? Best name ever, Mrs. Hot. Hotdogo. As an eighth grade English language arts teacher, Mrs. Hot brings exceptional expertise, innovation, and compassion to her classroom. Her work is rooted in a profound understanding of early adolescence as a transformative time in her students' lives. She meets them where they are, guiding them to discover their voices, broaden their perspectives, and to connect with the world through the power of books. Mrs. Hot's passion for literature is at the heart of her practice. She believes deeply in the power of reading to develop empathy, compassion, and a greater appreciation for the human condition. She models this passion by sharing her favorite books, reading alongside her students, and creating opportunities for them to experience the joy of reading without the pressure of related assignments. Through initiatives like DEAR, Drop Everything and Read, and book tastings, she inspires her students to explore new genres, authors, and ideas, fostering a lifelong love of reading as a means of exploration, connection, and personal growth. Her classroom is an engaging, dynamic space where students feel supported and encouraged to express themselves. It's not uncommon to hear exclaims of joy or dramatic readings or lively debates coming from room 17, which indicates the level of excitement Mrs. Hot is known for creating in her class. Mrs. Hot's passion for the written word and her ability to inspire and connect with students make her an exceptional educator. While I'm proud to call her a colleague and a friend, we are proud to have you, Mrs. Hot, as our 2025 Governor's Educator of the Year for Richfield Park Junior Senior High School. Congratulations.
Thank you. This nomination eliminated any Monday blues for the rest of my career, seriously. I know this isn't the Oscars, but I wanted to just quickly thank 3 different groups of people. In thanking them, I hope my reasons for joining this profession will be obvious. My life has been made better by books. They took me on adventures when I was a teen, and they continue to dazzle me at 39 years old. If it weren't for the full support of the people I work for and with, I wouldn't have the freedom to be creative in the classroom. Many teachers in other districts I know feel stifled by their administrators, but I've always felt fully supported and therefore free to be innovative. When your administration puts faith in you, you naturally want to rise to the occasion. So thank you. If it weren't for the family I created and live with, I wouldn't intrinsically start each day with what would make this fun and worthwhile for my own kids. That's the only question I need to ask as an educator, and I do believe a lot of the answers are found in lively conversation about books. And lastly, if it weren't for my parents and the family that I come from, I wouldn't have the confidence to be mindful and present for my students. I'd be too worried about fame, glory, money, status. Instead, I was taught to put creativity, humor, and most importantly, empathy on a pedestal. And that's the only reason I am where I am today. I feel like I'm a true testament to what happens when a kid is simply read to every night and taught to see things from others' points of view. No special recipe, but if we don't have our humanity, then what do we have to lean on? I've tried to bring this into the classroom, and I think it's positively affected my students, but I learned it from someone, and those someones are sitting in this room tonight. So when we make things personal, they become a part of us. This job has become personal for me. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And that concludes our recognition. I wanted to again congratulate our recipients on this really prestigious award and recognition. You know, we have outstanding educators, faculty, and staff here in RP, and to be recognized by your peers and by our community members really speaks volumes. I wanted to thank our principals for joining this evening and pulling together some really nice speeches and presenting your recipients. In a few moments, we'll pause for some photo opportunities. I did want to excuse our student reps, as I'm certain you have some other activities or perhaps some homework to attend to tonight. So thank you again, Kristen and Riley, for joining us. And I wanted to turn it back to President Martinez. I'm not sure if either he or any board members wanted to comment on this recognition, and then we can have our brief intermission.
Sure. I wanted to first open it up to the board if you guys had anything you wanted to add or say about our lovely teachers.
I would just like to congratulate all of the teachers of the year and the support staff of the year that were presented tonight and say that it really is inspiring to hear all of you talk. It makes me excited about the future of the children in Ridgefield Park, and that's the reason we are all here. So thank you to everyone.
I want to echo everything that Trustee McNeil said. This is probably one of the best nights as a board member is to listen to all of the principals speak so highly about the hardworking staff that we have here in Ridgefield Park. So congratulations to all the recipients. Keep doing the great work. We see the difference in our kids each and every day, and your work is not unnoticed by this board. So thank you.
I'll just add that I've said many times before that this place is really a special place. I wasn't born here. I'm not a townie, as they say. I chose to live here and I chose to raise my kids here. And I've always said this place is really special. I know everybody says that about their town. This place is truly special. And the fact that these teachers, many of which were born and raised here, even echoes that even more. So keep up the good work and thank you for your service.
I just want to echo what my fellow trustees mentioned too, and I just want to thank. It was very emotional having 5 children that went through the system, through the school system, and it was just very emotional. Even if it goes beyond the classroom, you know, and you do reach each family, and it's just Mr. Kenny is a phenomenal person, and Ms. Tavesky, Ms. Domke, I'm so sorry. They not only do they care about their own students, but also students in the other classroom, like the whole school community, and they work very closely with the parents. I just want to thank you.
Very well. If we can have our recipients just step forward with our principals and administrators, that'd be great.
Okay, we're gonna get started momentarily. Okay, we will now move on to the state monitor's report. Mr. Egan, thank you for your patience.
Hello, not a problem. We'll get through immediately the reasons why I'm here. I just want to report to the board and to the public that the financial stability of the Richfield Park Board of Education is fine. You guys are in financially in a very good place. I would also like to comment one of the things that I observed why that was done or accomplished was the fact that the board and administration, specifically the superintendent, has great communication between us, and with that's a very successful element that you need for a district to continue. And you guys are doing a great job. I can certify that once again that the finances are great, and I believe that and you can double check with the BA that the auditors will be coming at the next board meeting to specifically detail the financial condition of the district. And I have to compliment all of you. about that. You guys are doing a great job. So just moving forward, because I don't know what happened with the communication at the executive session, but I have some issues, and I want now that I can talk to you, I'll go through the superintendent. But some of my issues, an issue that I have with regard to one of the legal things that we talked about uh, uh, at the meeting. So I'm not gonna, we can't violate that. So, but we'll talk some more. But once again, as evidenced by um, the great things that the teachers have been recognized for, it's just another example of how you guys are doing a great job. So ends my report.
Thank you, Mr. Egan. Thank you for the kind words, and thank you for your guidance and support during your tenure with us. It's been appreciated. We will now listen to citizens' comments on agenda. Mr. Cooney, could you please check the list? Do we have anyone to elevate? Okay, I will now close public comment period. Mr. Beisig, could you please give us information on the last minute changes to the agenda?
Yes, on item 1405, there was a typo on the effective date. The effective date that's in the board agenda is December 20th, 2024. The actual effective date is January 31st, 2025. Under new business, within the agenda on page 23, you'll have finance 1701 has been added. And on page 24 for personnel, 1801 has been added as new business. It's on the website and it's on the handouts here at the board meeting.
Thank you, Mr. Beisig. We'll move on to agenda items. Trustee Orth has moved on. Oh, she's not on the call anymore. Trustee Schmidt, could you please move policy and regulations 9.01?
9.01, I so move. Second.
Please have a roll call.
Mr. Cooney,
Yes.
Ms. Kraft,
Yes.
Mr. Phytros,
Yes.
Ms. McNeil,
Yes.
Mr. Malou,
Yes.
Ms. Rodriguez,
Yes.
Ms. Schmidt,
Yes.
Ms. Velez,
Yes.
President Martinez.
Yes, the resolutions pass. Trustee Kraft, can you please move faculty and programs 1001 to 1006?
Make a motion to move FP 1001 to 1006.
Second.
May I please have a roll call?
Mr. Cooney,
Yes.
Ms. Kraft,
Yes.
Mr. Phytros,
Yes.
Ms. McNeil,
Yes.
Mr. Malou,
Yes.
Ms. Rodriguez,
Abstain 1001, yes to all.
Ms. Schmidt,
Yes.
Ms. Velez,
Yes.
President Martinez.
Yes. Excuse me, the resolutions pass. Trustee Cooney, can you please move Buildings and Grounds 1101?
Resolution 11.01, I so move.
Second.
Any questions or comments?
Just one, what time period does this waiver cover?
Thank you for that question, trustee McNeil. The idea here is to be able to partner with a potential provider for the upcoming 25-26 school year. So a waiver is required in terms of the space of the classroom.
And then any contract with that provider is separate from this waiver. This is just a preliminary?
That is correct.
Thank you.
Welcome.
And please have a roll call.
Mr. Cooney,
Yes.
Ms. Kraft,
Yes.
Mr. Phytros,
Yes.
Ms. McNeil,
Yes.
Mr. Malou. Yes. Ms. Rodriguez, Ms. Schmidt,
Yes.
Ms. Velez,
Yes.
President Martinez.
Yes, and the resolution passes. Trustee McNeil, can you please move Finance and Insurance 1201 to 1214 and new business?
I move 1201 to 1214 and new business 1701.
Second.
Any questions or comments on Finance and Insurance? Seeing none, can I have a roll call?
Mr. Cooney,
Yes.
Kraft,
Yes.
Mr. Phytros,
Yes.
Ms. McNeil,
Yes.
Mr. Malou. Yes. Ms. Rodriguez,
Yes.
Ms. Schmidt,
Yes.
Ms. Velez,
Yes.
President Martinez.
Yes, and the resolutions pass. Trustee Schmidt, I'm gonna call on you again. Can you please move consent agenda 1301 to 1314?
Consent agenda 1301 through 1314. I so move.
Second.
Questions on that agenda? Seeing none, can I have a roll call?
Mr. Cooney,
Yes.
Ms. Kraft,
Yes.
Mr. Phytros,
Yes.
Ms. McNeil,
Yes.
Mr. Malou. Yes. Ms. Rodriguez, Ms. Schmidt,
Yes.
Ms. Velez,
Yes.
President Martinez.
Yes, and the resolutions pass. Trustee Kraft, would you please move personnel 1401 to 1409 and new business?
I make a motion to move P 1401 to 1409 and new business.
Second.
Any questions on personnel? Okay, seeing none, can I have a roll call?
Mr. Cooney,
Yes.
Ms. Kraft,
Yes.
Mr. Phytros,
Yes.
Ms. McNeil,
Yes.
Mr. Malou. Yes. Ms. Rodriguez,
Yes to all, but I abstain 1801.
Ms. Schmidt,
Yes.
Ms. Velez,
Yes.
President Martinez.
Yes, and the resolutions pass. We will now listen to citizens' comments off agenda. Mr. Cooney, can you please check the list? Do we have anybody to elevate? Seeing none, I will now close public comments and I will request a motion to close the meeting.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Have a good night, everybody. Thank you.